I'm Manuela Angelescu and I'm a yoga instructor for almost 10 years now. I've been trained in India for a couple of times, and I've been working with a couple of students, especially female students, since I remember. And what I can say in our job is to make sure that everybody is included in this process of self-integration. And many times I've had partners, students that didn't consider themselves integrated in their social or in their social context. And I made sure that they are being given the care they needed. What I have noticed in using emotional intelligence was that the needs are different. We have worked with refugees and old people, old persons, old female that didn't consider themselves capable of doing things, and in the end of the classes they were realizing that they can do whatever they want. So it's always about this consciousness of giving self-empowerment to the people that need. And me being a female and being a woman with certain needs and coming from Eastern Europe, I know how to observe certain needs in terms of self-perception. Coaching, not really coaching, so I've been trained in classical Hatha Yoga, and I've been using the techniques like pranayama, the breathing and meditation in order to give a certain stability in the group. But what I noticed was that I used a lot a sort of scanning of how the person is feeling during the classes. So I'm very much aware of when to approach a person in depth or to give space to the person, especially women that maybe are not very comfortable with their body. What I would suggest to people that want to start a self-journey through yoga practice or other, let's call them spiritual practices, is to follow their intuition and their self-respect in starting a journey that is very much likely to lead you to some place that you feel much more comfortable with yourself and you feel much more integrated in the community you are in. It doesn't matter if you're older or you are poor or you are facing different situations, even physical inabilities of practicing. From my experience, the benefits are enormous in terms of like you start from nowhere and then you realize one day that you can do a headstand and you breathe better and you feel much better in your own skin. After 10 years, the evolution of the practice in the community is pretty high. So we were facing in Timișoara with a sort of a perception on these spiritual practices as being more or less something of a cult thing that were not accepted in our ex-communist society. So the first maybe problem was to make sure that the people, the female especially, felt safe in our community due to some scandals we were facing, especially in Timișoara. So to create a safe environment was my priority. And after that was the physical safety, the psychological safety, of course, because some people in laying down on the mat and closing their eyes, they don't feel safe. I had a situation in which somebody was afraid of closing the eyes. So you are facing many situations in which people react different, especially women. And what I noticed during these 10 years that you start to be more nourishing with the energy you're giving and support to these women, and the results are huge. I think in our city you can feel this different vibration, different energy as a result from our work with this community. Being present is very important when you work with the women, and during these 10 years of practicing yoga in our community, I realized that through breathing together and through practicing asana, we could connect at a deeper level, and we could realize that this emotional intelligence is developing together with ourselves in noticing that we have a purpose together. And I think this connection helped us at the individual level, but also at the community level. So being present and being in this energy of compassion with each other was very much helpful for building this community.